Go. Hi, stream.
I
I
dream.
agree.
Let's make sure the music is off. It is. This scene doesn't have music. Good to know. Hi. So we're starting a new system. This is going to be a little clunky at first, as we all learn slash I remember how the fuck to run this system. Um, we're using a modified version of Cypher. Cypher is a sort of toolbox kit for tabletop RPGs that has a bunch of stuff in the book that basically says if you want to use it, use it. If you don't want to use it, get rid of it. So don't expect like a rules as written Cypher run. This is going to be sort of a mix of a couple of extra things and a couple of optional doohickeys. Um, And as this is a new campaign, we get to meet all of our characters. I'm going to start with the two characters who would have met first. You guys would have met in the East as you were sort of moving in the direction of the sort of western section of Savannah. You guys would have been the first to find each other. That is I and Grieve. Um,
Oh,
Mhm.
that me.
Indeed. Y'all would have met somewhere in the middle of Savannah on your way to the west. Um, you would have known that there is opportunities in the southern continent, that there is not only free land to claim and sort of a bunch of mysteries. There's this apparently like a nation that just went entirely missing a long time ago that nobody knew existed until they landed at the sort of central landing point where you guys will eventually get to. Um, but it means that the entire western portion of the southern continent is a mix of free real estate and a bunch of leftovers from a nation that suddenly disappeared. I don't know why I is personally going. That is up to you, I. Grieve, however, you would know that the previous piece of yourself that you found was in one of the vaults related to the old archmages of the Immortal Empire. And you've heard that one or a couple have been found in the southern continent, meaning they somehow made it all the way down there and built vaults down there.
Oh,
So it's a good place to, give a look see for other pieces that you need. But you guys would have met in a carriage on the way westward through Savannah. Whether traveling alone in Savannah is not a great idea. Traveling the roads alone is a horrible idea. But in a caravan or carriage group, it's a lot easier and a lot cheaper. Plus, you're guaranteed at least some Savannah guards are around. That is where you two will have met. Grieve, we've already talked about it, but you recognize the individual. I'm like, how to explain? You recognize them, but they don't seem to recognize uh the you part that's you. Obviously, they don't recognize the body, but they don't recognize the you part, which they should if they were who you think they were.
Mhm.
You all meet in a carriage. If you'd like to roleplay, you're welcome to. Have some conversations, or you can just tell me what you learned about each other or what you would talk about. Up to you how you guys want to play this.
uh, Rainland, quick question,
Huh.
because my memory is shit. What was your character's name before when we met? Do you remember? It was like start with an L, didn't it?
Uh, I don't specifically remember. One second, see if I have that tab still open real quick.
Because I was gonna role play and I was gonna mention the previous name, but I totally like I had it and then I blanked and I was like, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know what this I shouldn't start role playing until I know what this name is."
I mean, you could even just make something up at this point too,
Mm, okay.
because that one wasn't streamed. So
Ooh.
True. Okay. Hold on. I gotta get my straw in my mouth. Hold on. Ahem. So your name is I?
yes,
Okay. And you don't remember me at all.
no,
Not even a little bit.
I am curious as to why you think you know me.
And you don't remember any adventure like in mid-adventure.
What?
None at all.
I
You don't remember meeting an immortal being named Will.
who?
Okay. And your name is I, not Leah.
No, my name is I.
Okay. You're super sure about that?
It was the name I was born with, so yes.
How old are you?
I'm I'm only like 22.
Squint. Do I believe her? Do I believe that she's telling me the truth? Probably.
I
Well,
don't
I
know.
mean, actually, considering the background that you would know, possibly
Mm,
not.
Might be lying.
I don't
Would you
You're
think to
being
try to insight? Because you're welcome to.
Yes, 100%.
All right.
Because he's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. So this would be an intellect attempt. This is effectively you trying to uh piece together motions of their face and or ticks and whatnot. It's just a standard intellect test. Um, if you would like to, you may use effort during this. To use effort, you would spend 3 points in whatever the pool is, which in this case is intellect. And if you have an edge, you would remove that from that 3 points in order to attempt to figure out if I is lying in or telling the truth. And I, if you are lying, you can do the same.
Uh, I don't think he's gonna put effort into it at this moment. If this keeps going on, he will eventually put effort into it and be like, "Why the fuck is she lying?"
Perfect. And it's just going to be a d20 roll. And then I, if you are trying to deceive, you may roll.
With that information that she's already given, no, she is not trying to lie.
Fantastic. Grieve, you're
Mm,
pretty certain that they're probably 22. It is highly unlikely that they are lying with the your your skill in insight.
mm, okay. And so, where are you going and why are you where you're following me?
I currently have been getting away from the Moon Empire, and you seem pretty interesting. You're fairly certain you seem to know me, and I wonder why.
Hmm. Because
A
I
little
haven't
girl
changed
who's
faces
a little
since
girl
I
who's in
saw
the
you
same
last.
carriage is like overhearing this and goes, "Oh, so you're
Hmm?
stalking."
I'm just gonna raise my eyebrows at you like,
I don't think she means me.
What? What does that supposed to mean? I'm going over there for business to do some vault hunting.
Sure, says the person who says they know me, and I have no
Why
idea who you are.
do you minding my own damn business? You're the one who's following me.
Sure, we'll believe you.
I'm gonna raise my eyebrow at I and the little girl.
She's just nodding along, and you can see her mother, like, sitting farther in the carriage, just, like, knitting something, but also paying direct attention and slightly, like, shaking her head like, "Oh god, what's my daughter gone into? Why is she interacting with two really weird people?"
I was gonna make a gesture from the little girl to the guy, like, see, he's following me.
I'm so tempted to lean over to the mother and tell her to control her child, but I won't.
The girl raised a hand and says, "Technically, I think you're both stalking each other because one of you is following the other, and then one of you is going for a job, but also talking with the other. I think you're both stalkers."
How does that work? How can we stalk each other?
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Oh, that's stalking is a what if I never mind, I'm not gonna get into this. We're a 12-year-old.
I've read books like this before. There's supposed to be a third one. I think it's a love triangle.
Okay, I'm done with this conversation. You're too young for this conversation.
Yeah, she looks like she's like 10. Her mom also looks slightly concerned that she just said she read something about that.
Eyes just laughing and smiling. Oh, I like this kid.
The carriage rides are quite long, as it takes a while to get all the way from sort of mid Savannah to the western portions of Savannah. However, before you are able to make it to a city that I actually have on the map, hang on, I forget what the city's called. Hold. Before you make it to Vladislav, you another interesting individual. There have been a few adventurers who have shown up to this point, of differing skills and whatnot. Many are just taking temporary carriages to move westward, but not actually like they're not the same goal as you. They're not planning on going to the south. They're not planning on going to the docks. It's like a bus route basically. People come and go as needed. You guys are just taking the longest ride possible. You're taking the Greyhound all the way, and it keeps stopping and picking up and dropping off people. Well before you make to Vladislav, but in the western portion of Savannah, another person who is on the same goal as you will join in, and that is Vigo if he's back.
Not yet.
Okay, that will be Vigo when he gets back. Which means
taking the doggy out.
yeah, no
Oh,
worries.
doggy.
Which means if you'd like, I and Grieve on the sort of westward motions. Other adventurers and families will sort of come and go from the carriage rides. I'm trying to think. I think there's one person who actually stays as well. Yeah, you know what? I'll have this be I'll have this be where this guy's from because I don't have a list of where this guy's from. So congrats, he's from here now.
Hey.
A sort of noble carriage joins in. It is made of the ironwood material that is so common in Savannah. Sort of the national the product of Savannah. Um, during breaks, you're able to catch glimpses of these people. It seems to be a noble-looking gentleman. He has the black hair and the sort of grayed skin that is common to the Ironwood elves, those who sort of rule and live in Savannah. Um, they act as the sort of second pillar of the government. The first being the king, the second being the Ironwood tree and the high elves that exist around it. It seems like he might be half elf, possibly. Um, but he seems to be moving with a decent amount of troops. And he seems to be tagging along with everybody in the carriage, the sort of group that's continuing forward, and seems to share all of his foods and items. They cook much better meals than your normal travel meals. So suddenly, or at least this last little leg before you meet Vigo and then head to Vladislav, uh, you guys are treated to some pretty good meals that are shared out, like soups and cooked meats and spices that you hadn't seen before. It seems this individual is of the wealthier class and is willing to interact with those who are just traveling. Would you guys interact with the person?
First up, during most of the travels, a lot of the downtimes I would be spending trolling Grieve.
And he'll be getting rage baited and falling for it all the time. He's already on high alert because she's not saying who she says she is, but she knows who she is, and it's pissing him off. So he's already on edge.
Yeah, and every time you try to insight, it seems like I really doesn't know who the hell he is.
Vigo's
Oh,
here.
is
Welcome back.
Vigo here?
Hi.
Wonderful. Welcome back. I have asked a question of Ian Grieve though beforehand, before they meet up with Vigo. But Vigo, you're about to join the carriage. I and Grieve, would you have interacted with the sort of nobleman or any member of his posse?
Probably just
Uh,
thanking him for the food.
yeah, I would have thanked him for the food. And then if he interjects in our bickering, then I would defend myself.
It seems he'll mostly stay to himself outside of Oh yes, only a smooth face. True.
It didn't update them.
No, I mean, you. There you go.
I took the background off of it. So it has updated, but it hasn't fully updated. There we go.
If
Smooth face.
you give thanks, any of his sort of crewmates or the ones handing out the goods will be like, "Oh, of course, no worries, no worries." Just spreading what we can as we're continuing westward. So it's always a pleasure to interact with the public, as our Lord says. Do enjoy the food. Safe travels. And bark. They have a little dog with them at all times. No,
Oh, the puppy. He will 100% touch a puppy. Dog is best friend.
at which point, during the next leg towards Vladislav, Vigo will have joined the caravan. Hey, Vigo, you've heard of lands in the south that have a whole bunch of goodies and like apparently there's like there used to be a nation there, so there's like things to find, but also there's a whole bunch of unclaimed land and territory that's been like forded, and there's a bunch of investors down south trying to make frontier villages and little outposts and pioneering. It seems like uh, if you're looking for land or a place to stay or a place to build, south seems to be where to go. The southern continent is currently bumping on the west coast,
Hey yo,
Heck yeah.
they bumping?
and as of about 4 months ago, notes were sent out all across the land that the second major wave of pioneers and frontiersmen are going to be sent down south. Um, Teleportation down to there or back is not possible, so they've had to supply it with a steady stream of ships, um, which has resulted in some issues in getting more people down, as it's hard to do everything at once. And thanks to the monster swarms that are down there, they've decided we're gonna do this the big way. The first major push had the Frankian battleship and a whole bunch of other large ships from Francia, Etronia, the Republic, the Free Naval, the Autonomous Naval Zone, just a shitload of boats, and it got attacked. This time, they've decided we're going to do the same thing, except we're using every country's resources instead, and we're inviting more people. So hopefully, with more adventurers and more high-skilled people and like powerful mages, if an attack happens again on the boats, there'll be less damage this time. But also more people will be able to make it down south. Um, those invites have been sent out as of a couple of months ago, and within the next month or two is the planned sale date for this next wave of frontiersmen and pioneers, uh, and possibly some investors. You are informed that there's a boat from Vladislav that will be headed directly to a one of the departing zones. Joining the caravan, you'll see a few people, a few adventurers. Oh, hey, I got turned into goth, I think. um, hang
Oh
on.
yeah.
Yep, goth. You can tell because I have black fingernails. Um,
Oh,
Hell yeah.
you are able to join the caravan. Vigo, there is a couple of specific things. So, the worshippers, who have been assisting you up to this point, inform you of this the opportunity, as well as because your character needs a contact. I would like to ask you: do you want your contact to be going to the southern continent or in the southern continent with you guys, or do you want it to be an external contact that sort of like is trying to ship or get goods to the southern continent? Um, Whichever you would prefer.
um,
They're on the southern continent. They can help you where you're at, but obviously they're going to be, frontiering as well with you.
e-
If they're not on the southern continent, then they might have more resources, but it's going to be hard to get them to you because it's hard to get shit down to the southern continent. So either way, you're going to get about the same amount of resources. I just want to know your interaction level that you would like with your contact.
I think, the further away, not on the same con.
Okay. Then you are informed that a member of a shipping company um, is planning on sort of upscaling their shipments down southward, and is currently working with your division of greed, with your worshippers. But they're gonna need some people down south to, get the goods and sort of spread it out and sell it. So they need somebody go build some places for them. They need lack of a better word, they need a pawn shop to send shit down to and then spread shit out. Um, and whether or not you would like to do that, it's an opportunity. It's a chance. It also means that you'll be getting supplies from the outside. You'll be getting supplies from the north, from the mainland, and you'll have interactions with this shipping company. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Then you are informed a member of. Let me add the contact. You are told about a member of the Cult of Envy, and your. Let me make sure I'm taking notes properly. Terrasol Shipping Company, which is totally a front name for one of the Cult of Envy groups. Is the sort of contact you're given. You're basically told, hey, if you take your symbol with you down south, there's a store at one of the docks. If you have a conversation with any individual there after showing them your symbol, they'll assist you in getting supplies. They'll assist you in starting out with what you want to start out with, and possibly moving some materials around. So long as you're willing to also move some of their materials around for them, if you get what I'm saying.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
As you join up with this weird caravan, you're able to find two people who seem to be moving all the way to do the same goal as you, to sort of head to the southern continent. And also, they seem to constantly be bickering about stuff, and one of them keeps playing pranks on the other, while the other keeps trying to get them to answer questions that they seemingly don't understand why they're being asked.
Stop touching me. I told you to stop touching me.
I'm not doing nothing.
I told you. Look it. You're touching me right now. Look it. Right here. Stop it. Go away.
Raise your hands up. I haven't been touching you.
Yeah. Stay over there. Stay over there. Give your hand for
But you
yourself.
didn't look at my foot.
It's not me.
What's going on? What's up?
Oh, hi. Who are you?
Guys, what do you
Vigo.
mean to disturb a piece?
It's a little late, but it's okay. I'm bored,
Hi, board.
and
It's
we
nice
got a
to meet
ways
you.
to go. Nice to meet you too. Who are you?
My name's I. Or at least
No,
my full name is
I'm
Aisaki,
meeting.
but you can just call me I.
I what?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
God, there's two of them.
Well, it's nice for you to meet me.
Yes, it's nice for you to meet me too.
Hey.
Now,
Uh,
do you like pranks?
in a sense,
Cool.
do you
I have
like?
I know a very fun target. You can help me.
Mm, no, it's okay. We don't have to do that.
Are you two friends?
Uh, I guess you could call us that. Sort
No,
of,
she doesn't remember
maybe.
anything, so no.
Oh, then I guess we're not friends. But sh- they're interesting.
You're also interesting.
You're the first
What?
person to say that.
I doubt it. What do you do aside from pull prank?
I mean, that's the fun part. I guess I just hang out otherwise.
Would you like to hang out together?
Okay.
Do you need work where we're going, or you got stuff going on, or
I don't really have a plan. I was kind of just following him along because he seemed interesting, and the fact that he really believes that I'm somebody else.
I roll my eyes.
and what
Uh,
him? Who him? Hi him.
I think he called himself Grieve.
hello. Yes, my name is Grieve. Nice to meet you. I'll shake your hand.
Oh, I'll shake your hand. Hi, nice to meet you.
He's really making me grieve some days too.
I was wondering,
Uh,
is your name Grieve or are you grieving?
my name is Grieve. Are you going to the Southern Continent for specific reasons?
Yeah. Uh, you
Would
know,
you like to
settling.
elaborate?
Just for
Would-
settling. Making a
Mm.
settlement, gotta get some people. And to do some jobs, to look for some treasures,
Mm.
to make some money, to make some friends.
Okay.
What you got going on?
I have a specific items that I'm looking for, and I've been told that they are somewhere in vaults down here.
Which items are you looking?
Oh, it's just I'm a little bit of a connoisseur of swords, so I'm looking for sword fragments.
Oh, would you like to treasure hunt together? Careful with the straw.
I was gonna say,
I stuck it a little too far down.
don't choke on that straw.
I'm a little too far to the back of the throat.
What?
Uh,
Hey yo,
uh, I'm sorry. What was the question?
If you want to treasure hunt together.
Sure. That sounds okay. That sounds nice to have some backup.
I mean, it's either that or, you know,
Guess that means I'm coming along too. Yay! Adventure.
It
right.
also would be nice to have a buffer between me and her, so
Yeah. Yeah.
Although I think Vigo really wants to see what kind of pranks I mean, what kind of things I talked about doing.
What? What? Explain.
Don't worry about it. I'll explain later.
oh god.
Okay. Is this like verbal explanation or more of a demonstration?
I think you could classify it as probably a demonstration.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. Okay. Then I'll look forward to it.
Yay.
the caravan makes its way to Vladislav, where you will all be taking a ship westward to the autonomous naval zone. You'll be boarding another ship as soon as they're able to get which ships are actually going to be launching to go south. Boarding the ship, all of you, I, Grieve, Vigo, not our automaton friend yet, as our automaton friend is starting in Francia and is going to the autonomous zone to take a ship, and we'll meet you at that particular location. Board a shipment vessel. You're also, you who have been in this caravan, also board with that noble gentleman who had been moving in the caravan or sort of with the caravan since that last little leg of it. It seems that he and his group are also boarding this particular ship, and they're leaving their carriage. They're leaving their other goods. It seems only a small portion of the troops that were with him are getting aboard the vessel with you all, um, which means he's headed the same direction y'all are, at least to the autonomous naval zone. You also see as a few other adventurers who are bound to most likely be going to the southern continent also board not only the ship that you are on, but there are two other ships that seem to be getting prepared or loading up. They're relatively small. They're not particularly large ships. They're just close range shipping vessels. Um, but it seems like there's quite a few people headed westward to possibly board and or supply the ships that'll be headed south very shortly. The boat ride takes about a week for you to sail past Devil's Rest, Demon's Breach, all the way past the Republic until you make it the small autonomous zone city of Bergen. There, assuming you don't want to do anything on the boat, beyond pranks, which you're of course welcome to do, and or interacting with any other adventurers if you want to like look around or just roleplay in general. Of course you can. Just feel free to tell me.
I think to make it kind of fun, one of the pranks I is gonna pull is like pickpocketing like a couple coins from Grieve before she gives them back, which is like, oh hey look, I found a couple coins on the ground. Here you go.
Let's see how easy
Okay,
that
thanks
is.
for handing this to me.
Because Grieve is trained in perception.
Mhm.
How's
And
about
I is
you?
trained in pickpocketing.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna have you both do is both just give me a raw d20 roll. No
Raw?
bonuses, because your bonuses are the same.
Dang it. Oh, hey. it worked.
Damn. Nope. You rolled a 20.
Yeah, you didn't roll a d20. You just roll. You just.
You couldn't let me have this.
Yeah, you still beat it. Your wonderful prank, you think is a great idea. Grieve, how do you react to the fact that you're definitely being pickpocketed right now by
Oh. Do I be mean about it? Or do I be chill about it? I think I'm gonna be a little bit mean about it, and I'm going to swiftly like pull out the sword, the broken sword, and just tap her hand off of my pocket. Just
Can she
not with the
do
sharp
a
side,
dodge?
but with the flat side.
Yeah, with your the catch is unexpected. You very much are able to like pull your hand back, but there's definitely a tap of like the back edge of this blade as it's like, hey, I definitely just saw you do that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It
I was
seems
gonna
like
give them back to you.
I dropped my straw. Hold on. Even so, don't hurt my straw. My stuff, my body, my person, no crushy.
Man.
Technically, it's not my body, but you know what I
What?
mean. That's out of character. There's no straw in my mouth.
All right. Any other interactions? Vigo, you're on the ship too.
No. I'm just gonna be watching my new friends, see what they're up to, seeing if there's any other interesting people.
Big brother, little sister shenanigans.
Yeah. Just be like, ah, I remember these.
All right. You land in Bergen. You're able to find that there are quite a few different inns that are completely filled. Just you can't find a freaking place to stay. You are directed, however, to a separate location. Ooh, sorry, excuse me.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Isn't it?
You are separated out, or wrong phrasing. You explore for a bit before people are able to sort of find you and tell you that, like, hey, if your plan is to join the fleet that'll be going southward, there is a place for you to stay. It is completely like pre-booked for people who are taking this. You will have to like share a room. They are divided, but they are like one room technically. Um, so you're gonna be kind of stuck with at least 4 people in a room, quote unquote. Um, but as long as you're fine with that, then you're able to basically go to what looks like a warehouse that's been temporarily changed into a multi-room like holding location for people who are about to set sail. It is here that Kaz, your character, you've
It's
been
me.
you've heard of this place. You've heard that apparently there's a bunch of people that are gonna head to a different continent entirely, just a new place to explore and find. And you're told that you just gotta, you just gotta take a boat, and the boat ride's free apparently, and you get to meet a bunch of people, and you've been pre-assigned to a particular room, which seems to be a sort of cordoned off, walled area, not all the way to the ceiling. It like goes only part way to the top of the warehouse, and there's just a little bit of extra room up above. Um, but then there are like little dividers inside of your room that separate 4 separate beds, 4 separate little like places to put your backpacks and all that stuff, um, clothes, whatever. Uh, and you've probably been here for a couple of days. You've been within the town of Bergen. What is the goal of your character? Is it just to head south, or are you trying to do explorers, or what's your call to adventure? Why are you adventuring? Why? Oh, automaton.
um, just for understanding the world.
Okay. You are left in the room to your own to do as you please. For the couple of days that you're within Bergen, you're able to collect any supplies you might need. You're able to get your weapon fixed. You're able to uh, make sure that your armor and your gear is prepared for the long ship ride ahead. Luckily, as an automaton, you don't really have to eat or drink. Um, breathing is a suggestion and is more or less you mimicking breathing. As an automaton, your basic needs are taken care of by just being in magical places. As long as there's magic around, you can kind of keep going. You're good. A couple of days into you staying here and being told, "Oh yeah, the ships will be ready within give it like another week. Give it another week, and the ship will definitely be ready, and the crews will be ready to go." People are still preparing. We're trying the best we can. You had been on your own in your own little 4 divide section until just now, when 3 people are added to your little room. I, Grieve, and Vigo are all brought into one of these 4-part divided rooms, and you're able to see the automaton doing whatever the automaton would like to do.
Just staring.
You're just always in standby mode. You're just like stand.
Yep. Yep.
Look like a mannequin for a bit.
Still don't really know what to do. Yeah, we're kind of in that transition period. So yeah, we're still kind of always on the standby. So
Yeah, you all walk into a sort of woodcraft automaton. It's at this point that I'll remember that hey, I don't have descriptions of everybody. What does everybody look like? Let's start with our new compatriot, our woodcraft automaton. What do you look like?
well, on the screen you could see some of what I look like. Hooded, uh, a bit of a light symbol in the middle that's partially covered my forehead. Um, but mostly just a wooden construct that doesn't quite have a gender identity. It's kind of ambiguous, somewhat of a female figure, but also male traits as well, like the strength and all that. The hood to try is they're trying to, you know, fit in, but it doesn't quite work, and you can still see this deadpan face with no eyes, just kind of no mouth, no nose, just kind of a flat face. Kind of robot-like, but not quite a robot. So
All right. I. What do you look like?
For the most part, she's got the standard fox-like features, the ears, the for now single tail, um, orange fur with the white-tipped tail. But she's learned how to change that to when she needs to sneak around to a darker color. For the most part, she's got standard adventuring clothes, but when she first had to set out, it was tattered, so she still has those tattered clothes with her.
Mhm.
But for the most part, she probably looks like a standard adventurer, other than the fox ears and fox tail.
Yeah, fantastic. For those wondering, kitsune are fairly common in the East, the fox folk or fox kin. Um, as a species, they've been known to be able to transform between different types of fox forms. Um, though that changes from one to another, very similar to the abilities of other races and species, where like the orcish rage within one's blood is dependent on how much of that orcish blood you actually have. So who knows what this kitsune can have, but apparently they're an orange kitsune. I just wanted to have some common knowledge info for the rest of you. That's just so you all know. Seeing I turn into a fox is just a kitsune thing. That would totally be normal, and that's definitely all that kitsune can turn into. Hey, Grieve, what do you look like?
Grieve looks relatively handsome. Not overly handsome, but he's aight. He definitely has a lisp, which makes him not as intimidating. He would be intimidating if it wasn't for him opening his mouth. He's got just like standard adventuring clothes, medium armor on. Looks like he could, smack someone around if he really wanted to. And he has a broken sword that he's kind of just constantly has his hand on, and it's just a shattered sword. And then that's only he's got other like knives and blades on him for like adventuring gear, axe, whatnot. That's just kind of hanging off him, ready to use at any moment to like dig something up or something. But yeah, that's it. He's a guy.
I will say, 2 things, or at least 1 thing about the sword. It looks to be old craft, so it looks to be something that would have been forged like old Empire style. So it's basic looking, and yet there's something more about it, whether it's magical or something. Of course, it's broken, so I mean, who cares around a broken sword? But it has that sort of old Empire design. So it looks very very practical, very easy to use, like what a soldier or a knight would use back in the olden days. If that's okay with you,
Yeah, perfect.
fantastic. Hey Vigo, what do you look like?
See. Hello. I'm a dude, so like a human. A little taller than average. Hi. Uh,
Whoa,
but
hi.
good morning. No,
Good morning.
I'm just a chill guy. But he's not heavy, but a little wide dude. He's a very tanky boy with his big armor and his big shield and a battle axe. Usually, usually just in his armor because it's his armor. Not wanted, lost. Don't take my shit. But he's got long hair, tied back in a braid. Not usually wearing his helmet because, I mean, those things are big and heavy and hard to see, and then you can't see my amazing face. It's not actually amazing, but he is very confident in himself. So he's like, even though he's only just, maybe a little above average, but probably just average. He comes from a rural area, so he doesn't got much of a reference. But yeah,
All right. Your armor, it is heavy armor. Is it like tanky and like metal? Is it like all like are you wearing like half plate style?
C.
Okay. So yeah, this dude looks like could be a champion of some kind almost with the type of armor. Uh the big shield. It's probably a Savanin shield, so it has that like front point on it where the kite part has a sort of double pointed front on it. um so they could kind of use their shield as a weapon or as a like an asset in making sure that people can't get close. It's literally pointed, so you can just be like, "Look," and point the shield at somebody, and it'll be hard for them to
Get
hit you.
out my face.
The nation of Savannah is very well known for having pretty brutalist looking armor. Um, it's very similar to like the Union of Brute Guild, which is literally owned by like orcs and stuff. The Ironwood elves of Savannah are they use the wood of the ironwood tree, which splinters all over the place constantly, which means there's just sprouts and shreds and like broken pieces of metallic like branches off of their armor normally, which means a lot of their human counterparts took that design into the forging. So the armor probably looks fairly brutalist, fairly Savannan. It's probably easy to pin him as being somebody who lives or lived in that country. Um, and your armor, you probably fit it closer to what you remember from the East. If you bought new clothes in Savannah, it's probably annoying as hell to stylize it to be close to what you remember. But of course you're welcome to. Grieve, it's pretty easy for you to just pick out whatever clothing and just roll with it.
Yeah,
And you're wearing
I'm easy.
a medium? Was that what you said? Meat? Yes,
Yes.
medium armors. So is yours just
Yeah.
all leathers, or do you have like pieces of like metal bits on like the major, like like a bit of a plate of metal over the heart, and maybe like a plate of metal over like one shoulder, that kind of thing? Or is it just all
I
leather?
like. I'll probably have some metal bits that I've just kind of slapped on.
Okay. Since I was ran out. Okay. How you stylize your clothing is up to you, of course. I'm just trying to make sure that I know the vibe, so that much like when I was messing with Rigel and being like, "Well, you look like you're from Frankia," I can do the same thing to these characters, if needed. Fantastic.
I want to look like Geralt.
You want to look like Geralt? That's easy enough. You look exactly like Geralt without the gray hair or the yellow eyes or the.
Yeah. Not as ruggedly handsome.
Yeah. Not as rugged nor
Almost
as
as
handsome.
ruggedly handsome. Yeah.
You expect the deep voice, and instead you get, well, Grieve's voice. Uh,
Guys, it's me. I'm Grieve.
um, okay, fantastic. You all are able to meet up together for the first time ever, meeting your new automaton possible ally within the same room.
Bobby
The
Reinhardt.
person who brought you there goes, there is already one person staying here currently. They've been here for a couple of days. You'll be rooming with them. That'll make us a 4 troop. We will immediately notify you when the ships are ready to move out. So be ready to go at any point. Feel free to collect what you need. There is a stipend, so there is a small portion of money for supplies and resources that you might need, food and whatnot, for the ride over. So if you would like, feel free to go out and buy stuff. We will refund anything that you've bought for the sake of the trip. The amount of time it will take is a couple of months, possibly. It should only take 1 month to travel to the southern continent, but it could take longer, so prepare for a couple of months. And we should be setting sail in a couple of days at most, so prepare yourselves. You'll be notified as soon as possible. The gentleman will turn and walk away and leave you all to your room. What would you guys like to do?
I will probably be the first one to approach the automaton, not knowing what it is at the time, and just be like poking at it. What is this?
I was gonna say Grieve was gonna use her as a coat rack because she's sitting so still.
I was told that this is not common behavior for creatures.
What?
I do not
As
believe I am a coat rack. Not.
I will jump
Oh.
back before she can. Like, oh god, it's actually moving.
God. It shocks. It shocks, guys. It shocks.
I believe I am to expect an apology at this point.
Yeah, that was pretty
I-
rude, you guys.
I am sorry.
I wasn't.
I made a mistake and I apologize. Who are you?
And you are forgiven. That was my very first apology. Thank you for participating.
You're welcome.
Amazing.
As for who I am a construct. I have no name. but I am on an adventure to figure out what this world is like now that I have gained sentience.
I love her. I love them.
Also, do you need assistance? I hear that your voice is not, shall I say, normal.
What?
Yeah.
What's that supposed to mean?
I am told that sometimes if you realign the jaw, that possibly it can be fixed. I could perhaps do an uppercut into your jaw.
Do it.
Hey, yo!
Who knows? I don't think it would hurt to try.
I want to see.
Why are you guys all encouraging this? No, I think that I'm okay for right now, but thank you.
Affirmative. Then I will not.
Aw.
Although it's gonna be hard to
I still
talk
love them.
with you to just. What's your name?
Do not have a name.
Well, that'll be difficult.
What should we call you?
I do not mind what you call me. You may call me anything you wish.
Coat rack.
Rack.
What Woody? I mean, you're made of wood.
Are you going to Southern Continent as well?
Yes, that was my plan.
What's your plan when you get over there?
I have no plan.
Wanna join us? Do you
If
fight?
you will allow it. Yes. My job was to protect for I will not say yet, but I was to protect. So I
Mhm.
can fight adequately well.
They're interesting.
Yeah, I kind of
I
like
take
them.
that as a compliment. Thank you. That was my
Usually.
first. Thank you. Thank you.
I have many questions.
How tall are you?
How tall?
If you don't mind me asking. Yeah. Like, are you like kitsune height? Are you normal human man height?
10 feet tall, obviously. No, I would say like, yeah, maybe a little taller than normal, but not like crazy tall, you
So
know.
little buddy is out of the question.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, you could still call little buddy.
Like it'd be like a Tiny Tim situation.
Yeah.
Smalls.
Or
Smalls,
Rainland situation.
I'll have to think of a name for you as well.
Wow. I'm trying to think of one as well.
Do you?
I still
do you-
think Woody's a good name.
Woody's a name.
A name.
Out of character, I thought coat rack was kind of funny.
It's the most relevant.
Yeah.
Do you prefer what you, Professor Oak? Are you a boy or a girl?
Oh, is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Oh, I do not have a gender, as I am a construct.
I mean,
You could
gender's
be
a
like.
construct. So, like, yeah.
Did you say gender is a construct?
Gender.
Yes, yes,
Got me there.
I believe this particular construct would be considered non-gendered, meaning they
Yeah.
have no gendered parts or pieces.
Wait, that's why we
Which-
call them gender now.
Yeah, just gender.
Connie.
Connie, it's cute.
Construct. Connie the construct.
Oh.
I'm gonna call you Connie.
I can get behind it.
Connie, it is.
You could always have the title of Connie the coat rack.
Connie the coat rack.
Connie.
Oh, good.
Oh,
I was
feel
kinda
the same
hoping-
way.
I was
okay.
I was kind of hoping it was gonna be CONEE.
It can be. Let's say how you want to spell it.
Let me look at that. CONEE. That looks like cone.
Just CONEY.
Yeah. I think I'm more personal.
No.
Kobe. Coney.
All right. We'll stick with that for the time being. As apparently the entire group goes, all right, but how do we spell Connie? And you guys sit around for that entire night trying to decide together how to spell Connie. The next
I don't
morning,
know how to spell.
I
Wait,
do not
can
know
you
where
read?
that is.
Do we have to teach you to read?
Possibly. I don't know, actually. Would I know how to read?
yeah, so common
Okay.
is known by all living creatures above a certain intelligence level and above a certain age. So common is one of the natural laws that have been created, sort of like the similar to how like immortals work and that sort of stuff. It's a common concept that all peoples should know a language, and that just happens to be common. It's like the language of Babel, right? It's everybody knows this eventually. While people aren't necessarily great at speaking it, and some people have horrible accents that make it impossible to understand, everybody at least knows common. Other languages are taught to you at younger ages, can carry on. So, for example, Frankian is something you learn well before common becomes a thing in your brain. So before then, you're kind of stuck to your own region. So Vigo would know Savannan and would be able to speak that like as a common thing, because up until, the age of 8 or whatever, common wasn't really an option. You could understand it, but you could never speak it. After the age of 8 to whatever, when you would normally get your first awakening, when you would normally get your first in the D&D, when I would like give you the free cantrip, think of it as when that occurs is also when common is like suddenly understood for speaking purposes. So nearly every species around the world can speak common and read common. Now you won't be able to read, even though you were in Frankia this entire time, Connie, you wouldn't be able to read Frankian because you wouldn't have been taught that. So when you first go to the elves, or when you first went to the high elf that had made your constructs, you probably would have been very confused because they're speaking a language you can't understand, and you probably had to get translations from another elf who's like, right, okay, so here is what they're saying in common, which is something that just everybody knows at all times. Magical world, welcome to this universe.
Okay.
So yes, you would be able to read, write, and understand common.
Okay.
So no, Connie does not need to be taught.
That brings up a good point. Is it like on your 10th birthday where you're like, "Bruh," or is it like
Yeah.
at some point when you're 10?
It is when your awakening occurs, which can occur anywhere from the age of For some people, it goes younger, and for some people, it goes older. But generally, it's from the ages of 6 to 10. So at any point during that
Okay.
range, you'll suddenly get magic, and you'll suddenly get the ability to speak and write common. You can always understand
Mhm.
it. From as soon as you're born, as soon as you gain enough consciousness to understand what words are, I suppose, you can understand common. But you won't be able to speak it until your first magical like awakening. For some reason, once you obtain magic, people are able to understand common. Who knows why? Except me. But yeah, it's just a thing that occurs. It is an event that occurs in every mortal species' life.
Or even dogs.
Yes, because there's an intelligence requirement. There are dogs that know how to understand common, and if the dog is intelligent enough or has an awakening that raises their intelligence enough, they can speak it as well. There are monsters that you can meet out in the wilds that will speak and understand common, because common is one of the few languages that any intelligent species understands. No one knows whether it's a god of language that causes this to happen or it's just a fundamental rule of reality, but every species that is mortal has an intelligence above a certain level and is able to use magic obtains. Orion is weird and highly magical.
Hey.
But yeah, in the morning, when you all wake back up for your, you have a couple of days to go out, get resources, do whatever you need. I'll say at your guys' wealth levels, you're very easily able to attain a couple months worth of sort of whatever practical food you'd like to go with, without too much of an issue. Um, Vigo, I am gonna say because of your extra resources, you do have a 4 in wealth, so I'm gonna give you a 4 in wealth for the time being.
Nope.
You guys are able to maintain your gear. You guys are able to get any adventuring gear that you had wasted over the course of getting to here. Um, as well as you guys are able to grab a sort of like a pioneer's bag. A hey, if we're gonna end up going into the jungle suddenly, we don't want to get caught out. You have been told that the last ships that went, the like previous major wave, got attacked and a couple of the boats sunk, and so people had to like swim to shore, which means you might just have to live out in the jungles for a few. So you guys prepare for that just in case. Um, is there anything else you guys would like to do, get, or look around for, or are we rolling right into the ships? Or roleplay. Feel free to roleplay more, obviously.
I'm good to go, I think. I mean, I'd have to experience the battle to know if what I need.
Hmm. Does anybody? Okay, so I'm gonna go over something that I see as a game master. Does anybody want to get any ranged weapons?
Oh.
Gotta look at my thing.
As it sits, nobody has any ranged weapons.
I yeah, actually.
And if so, what type of ranged weapon would you like?
Is there a throwing knife?
There is. Throwing knives are considered a small weapon. They only go sort of like short range, so they're not super long range, but it's at least something.
Yeah. let's do
You're
that.
you're a bit weird in that you can jump short range and attack somebody.
Oh,
You
So
are throwing.
I am the
Yeah.
range.
Yeah, so technically your glaive has a short range because you can just jump to the target. Um,
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind. I'm probably fine.
for you, it would be more like, do you want a short bow, long bow, or do you want a pistol or rifle?
Oh, probably do a pistol, sure.
Okay. The pistol is going to be a light weapon. What element would you prefer? Oops. On the wrong page. Un momento.
Ah. Ah.
Pistol is going to be a light weapon. It can shoot beyond a short range, but it's going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass to hit things. Luckily, it has a +3 to hit, so. Whoops.
Nice.
And importantly, what element would you like? Would you like fire, cold, lightning, acid? I think those are going to be the most common ones.
Is that it?
Did you say lightning?
Oh, I was just wondering if that's all the choices.
Yes, those would be the most
Oh.
common ones. You
okay.
can probably find one. You're in Bergen. You're in a free city. You can probably find one that shoots necrotic as well.
Ooh.
I guess cold.
So it shoots little bolts of ice. Vigo, ranged weapon. Would you like a ranged weapon? And if so, what would you like it to be?
Would you be able to use them? Okay. Or is there
Yes, all of you except for I are good with any weapon type. So light, medium, or heavy. I is only good with light or medium weapons, which means I could use a pistol just fine and could use a sort of short rifle just fine. Could probably also use a short bow just fine. Longbows I would probably consider mostly a heavy weapon, so I wouldn't be able to use like a longbow, but for you, Vigo, yes, you could use any weapon proficiently because your base is a warrior. So Cypher says, for a warrior, you can use any weapon.
hooray. A cannon? No. Um. Kind of like the rifle.
Would you like the light rifle, which is the medium rifle, or a heavy rifle?
What's the difference?
The medium rifle, you can have your shield on your arm at the same time and still level the rifle just fine to shoot it. The heavy, you cannot. The heavy is literally a heavy weapon. It is effectively a hand cannon. Like you're literally like picking up a cannon and being like, okay, here we go. And you just launch a big old shot. And damage is the difference as well. A medium will only do the same as your battle axe, which is 4 damage. A heavy will do 6 damage.
Go with medium, just so I can have the shield if needed.
So with the medium rifle, you can just keep your shield on and just like quickly sheathe your battle axe, pull out that rifle, level it over the top of your shield, and just start shooting with it, just like leveled with your shield, basically. A heavy weapon, you would not be able to do that. You would legitimately need to hold it with both hands.
Is there like a reload with them?
Yeah, so the reload is just you can't shoot until next turn. The way the rifles and pistols work is there is a large magic crystal sort of embedded within the cylinder. You actually legitimately, for the heavy rifle, for your rifle, it's going to be more like a repeater. So there's sort of like a lever action on it. You push it back, it slides the core out, and it spins. And while it's spinning, it's absorbing magic from the air to reset itself. And then you just slide it back in, and then you can shoot again, which is the 1 turn wait. It is not a part of an action. It just happens naturally. You can just always shoot the next turn. It's assumed that you're gonna do that action or that like free thing. With the heavier weapons, you legitimately like have to use like sort of like a bolt action where you clip it and slide the entire core out for a moment, and then you slide the core back in to shoot again. It's a real pain in the butt. The revolvers or the pistols just rotate. So you literally, it's like a revolver. You shoot once, and then it spins the cylinder to the next one, and then you can shoot again.
Okay. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine.
Grieve! Would you like a ranged
Mhm.
weapon?
I think initially if uh we're going shopping for them, he wouldn't until he sees the necrotic pistol, and then he would probably pick that up.
Okay, so you're also gonna get a pistol, a light weapon, necrotic, modifier of a 3, so he's get a +3 when you're rolling to attack with the pistol. It has the little spinning cylinder. It does take a turn to spin that cylinder real quick and then shoot the next turn. So it's still just like trying to stab with a knife.
Ye-
Fantastic. And then finally, you can also get one if you would like.
I was thinking it'd be kind of funny to try to like Laura Croft akimbo.
Mhm.
You can certainly try. Light weapons are held one in each, can be held one in each hand.
2 pistols.
Okay. Elements.
Let's go cold and fire.
Bro.
You got it. You're pretty much always going to be rolling a +3 regardless of what weapon you're using, which is hilarious. To akimbo fire your weapons, it's probably going to be a speed test. I'm probably going to have to test your speed against the enemy real quick to see if you're able to actually get both shots off.
Okay.
But you might be able to do that. Fantastic. All right. You all are able to go shopping and get at least a light weapon or a ranged weapon each. Is there anything else you guys would like to get during the days that you have of downtime?
Potions. Health potions.
Sure. So, there is a couple of options here. You can get a healing kit, which will effectively act as an extra rest, which is just a d6 roll. And what it does is you just roll a d6 plus your tier, and you heal that much into a pool. It has an amount of charges, but you can only use 1 charge per scene. So it's not like super amazing. The other option is to get a larger potion, a one-time use potion, which would go in your cipher slot, of which everybody is limited currently to 2, I believe. Yeah, because the rest of you are warriors, so you all have a limit of 2. Let me make sure I write that down. The cipher one will just heal you for 12. It is a one-time use item. You just use it once and it goes away forever. Whereas the kits will like restore every time you go to any town or any place that has resources. It's just instantly back up to full, no cost, no anything because of the wealth. You're obviously welcome to buy both if you would like. However, I'm going to have everybody who has a 3 make a wealth check. Vigo, you can just get it.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna do that then.
I would also like to buy both.
Okay, so I need you to make a wealth check. So you're gonna roll a d20 for me, please. Okay, you keep your wealth.
Ooh.
Seeing the rest of them get some healing stuff, I will probably just grab a health kit.
Okay. Vigo and Grieve, you're also gonna get health kits, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'll add those in a moment because I'm gonna have you guys roll something for that as well. Connie.
Oh, that's. Oh, yeah. What? Okay.
I'm good.
Oh right, you can't heal with health potions anyways.
Oh no.
Yeah. I was just looking at that. I was like, I can't use
Wait.
that, can I? And I was like,
But-
yeah.
but- Wait,
I
could
I
want
you
to
have
use
ask her then. I want to ask her, what happens if you get damaged then?
I can heal myself.
What? But what if you get knocked down and don't get back up again?
How do you heal yourself?
Well, then I guess I have to die.
Oh, damn. How do you heal yourself?
I have a power to heal myself.
Are you a healer?
I can heal others.
If we needed to heal you, how do we do that?
You're all getting really quiet.
Good question.
I can't be getting closer with a microphone.
How do we heal you if we need to?
I was saying no, you were fine. Connie was like getting farther and farther away.
Oh.
Yeah, I was trying to do my acting, but my acting was getting a little quiet.
Yeah, stage whispers. Stage whispers.
Yes.
Mechanically speaking, just as the storyteller, as it were, Connie's long rest is shorter than everybody else's, and you guys can still rest as normal. So Connie will still, during any rests, get HP back. And because Connie's long rest is only 5 hours instead of 10, that means Connie can technically do extra rests while you guys are still asleep. So Connie can finish the 5-hour rest and then do the action, the 10-minute and the 1 hour, while you guys are still asleep. So if needed, Connie can heal a lot faster per like overnight than any of you can. And can be healed by
Rude.
natural magic. So any spiritualists can heal Connie, but only spiritualist magic can heal Connie. So potions don't work, arcane magic doesn't work, divine magic doesn't work, and psionics doesn't work, but psionics don't heal. So spiritual or nature magic, both of those are technically the same, they're just two different labels for the same thing, does work on Connie for the sake of healing.
Yay.
Just like repairing a plant would, basically.
Oh. Okay.
And in return, obviously faster sleeping and all that stuff, but also doesn't have to breathe, doesn't have to eat food, doesn't have to is a construct. So there's a lot of other benefits for it.
Yay.
Can you swim?
I have not done so, but I don't doubt I could. Or
She's
have
gonna
I
get
swum?
waterlogged.
Gonna get waterlogged.
I just imagine her being naturally buoyant, so she can't swim.
Right? Yeah.
She
Like,
can't
are you just a
swim.
boat?
Yeah, she can't
made of
swim
wood.
She can
because
float real
she's always
good.
floating.
Yeah.
She can't ever push herself underwater.
Imagine the story takes us underwater. Connie!
Right, we just add all the weights.
Not
Yeah.
the Korak.
We can't leave our Korag behind.
Who's gonna hold her code?
Just to put lead in each of her, like each of the like little cavities, like behind her legs and that sort of stuff, just to make sure that she sinks.
Yeah.
Or we just leave her at top and she's like our lifeline. We just tie a rope to her. We just she's our little buoy.
Yeah, you're my buoy.
Is there anything else you guys can think of that you might want? Any magic items? Any like casting of spells? Any like little runes?
Right now.
I can't think of anything.
All right. In that
It's
case,
funny
I'm gonna
because you'll never
need.
know if I mean me or the character.
Yeah,
Oh,
both are correct at the same time. Then I'm gonna need a roll for the health kits for Vigo, Grieve, and I. All you're gonna do is roll a d6 for me, please.
God fucking one of these days.
Okay, so while you guys are grabbing the health kits, you guys aren't particularly good at spotting individual items. But with your wealth, you're able to just be like, "Oh yeah, health kit. That sounds great." So you buy up a health kit. The health kit's level will be equivalent to what you rolled, which in this case is the amount of charges and then plus 1. So you get a health kit that has 3 charges maximum. This so that I can do this part real quick here. Copy. Grieve. You rolled a 5, so it's
5.
6. Oh. Yeah. And then Vigo is exactly the same as Grieve.
Eat.
Twinsies.
So yours does have
Hey.
less charges than the other two, but it's not easily spottable. It's one of those things where it's like, you guys bought them real quick, got some health kits, checked them out, and we're like, cool, we're good to go. But also, it doesn't change your wealth level, so none of your actual money changes.
It might have just been Grieve and Vigo were actually like, oh hey, cool, this looks kind of good, and then I was just like, oh shit, I should probably pick one up too. Yoink.
Yeah. That would check out.
That is little sister activity.
I saw one.
Very true.
I saw one where all of the little vials had like flowers imprinted on them, and thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
It's not as practical, but it looks a lot cooler.
It's that pink tax.
Yeah.
The girly shit doesn't work as well, or it's more expensive.
So reminder, for equipment like this, you can only use it once per scene. So in this case, you would use 1 charge. It would give you the healing listed, but then you couldn't use it until the end of the scene. So if you're in a combat, you can only drink one of the things, like prepared ones, and then you gotta just hope that you're able to make it through that scene all the way to the end. Luckily, you can do another rest as well, because one of the rests that you guys have is an action. So it's literally just heal yourself, you prepare yourself, and you get to heal. It is an action, 10 minutes, 1 hour, and 10 hours, I believe, are the 4 rest options. I think
Yeah, action 10 minutes, hour 10 hours.
yeah, it's on the
on the
character
sheet.
sheet. Fuck yeah, brother. So So you can actually check it off on your sheet if you end up doing certain rests. The health kit does not take one of those rests from you. It just is an extra thing you can do during a scene if you need to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. If there's nothing else you guys want to gather, then a message arrives about 2.5 days later, sort of at about lunchtime. No matter where you are at, a messenger will arrive and deliver that, hey, the ships have been decided on. You all shall be boarding the ship of Captain Lauren. It'll be easy to spot. It's the only Black Fleet ship that's currently docked in Bergen. And you have like an hour to arrive at the ship, and then we're setting sail, and we're just gonna start heading all the way south from here. We'll be meeting up with the other fleet or the other bits of ships as we pass their locations. So more ships will be joining us, sort of west of Francia, and some more ships will be arriving as we pass Atronia on our way southward. You guys are able to collect yourselves, and I ask, do you go aboard the ship?
Yeah.
Yeet.
There you go, I go.
Okay. You see a Brigant, a pretty large pirate ship. It has a black flag flying above it. It's obvious that this is a part of the Black Fleet. This is a pirate ship that is docked here. The individuals working seem shady, but not unprofessional. It seems like they're pirates, but as a proper member of the Black Fleet, and with the reforms that have been passing over the past couple of decades, the Black Fleet has more or less become like a skirmish fleet. They mess with certain trade companies. They mess with independent traders. They never take more than they possibly, they're real good at figuring out who's shipping illegal shit so that they can take it, and nobody can tell them that they took anything. Um, yeah, a ship sailing from Francia that's got a dragon scale drug on it, perfect. It doesn't have that anymore. And yet
Mhm.
the ship ended up getting to its trade place with all the stuff that it legally had aboard it. Oh, wonderful. It got there safely. Of course, they're missing a lot of stuff that they actually had aboard them. So smuggling operations have become harder and harder if you aren't a part of the Black Fleet. But also, a lot of nations don't bother fighting the Black Fleet anymore because they're also kind of stopping illegal trade pretty effectively. It's very weird. Privateering has become a major part of the Black Fleet. There are still some pirates doing piratey things, but the Black Fleet tends to pretty quickly acquire them as well. Boarding the vessel with a little sheet of paper that you were given. You are brought down to some quarters. The lower decks are pretty well divided. It seems like they were prepared for having a bunch of people aboard and preemptively like built out little wooden rooms. So you'll be in your own little divided cabins as you would like. And you're able to meet a bunch of different people. There's a quartermaster who tells you that, hey, if you need anything stored officially, we can store it here. We'll write down exactly what you gave us, and we'll make sure that it gets back to you whenever you need it. You see that quite a few people have actually already stored stuff there. Seems the quartermaster's keeping pretty close track of everything that's coming and going. You're able to meet that there's a couple of cooks aboard who will be preparing all the meals. And at the top near the wheel, you're able to see Captain Lauren. It seems to be a air genasi or an air spirit kin in this particular case. More spirit than human, as bits and pieces of their body almost seem to wisp around when they walk. They seem more air spirit than material plane mortal. But they still wear the nice tricorn hat because pirate captain. You're also able to meet a bunch of other people who join. Quite a few adventurers are brought aboard, as well as the Savannan man that you had seen before. Seems like that noble man who you had seen traveling with you when you were in Savannah is aboard this ship with his group of people as well. Seems they're headed southbound. The ship begins to set sail as soon as everybody's aboard. Would you guys like to do anything? Would you like to explore the ship? Would you like to speak with any of the members of the ship? Or are you all just keeping to yourselves until you get closer to the continent?
I want to explore the ship.
I'm grumbling to myself.
Yeah. You're
Because
grumbling?
you keep getting caught up in.
D-
Because you keep getting caught up in Aya's pranks.
Yeah, the stupid fox lady who won't tell me her actual origin story is bugging the shit out of me.
Vigo. Looking around the ship, it is being kept professional. You're able to see that there are a few employees from the noblemen who had come aboard, sort of patrolling, but quite a few of the pirate gentlemen as well, and a few pirate ladies moving about, doing stuff, cleaning the boat, making sure that all the sails are going where they're supposed to be. Seems to be pretty well kept, but they're like they've got cordoned areas so that you can like walk and explore and like cruise ship style where like there's gates so you can't get into like where they're actively doing stuff. But you're able to go onto the main deck, you're able to eat food as you need. It seems like this has more or less been turned into a cruise ship, a professional luxury ship headed down to the south. um Below deck, it's the accommodations are more makeshift. There's a bed for everybody, but it's a bed on a very rocky boat in the middle of the ocean. And there are a few locations that are completely off limits, so you can't get to like the captain's quarters. You can't get to the below deck crew area. Um, but you're able to meet anybody you would like. And is there anything in particular you're looking for aboard the ship?
No, just seeing what it's got.
It seems well stocked. It seems
Passengers, that kind of stuff.
it has a lot of passengers compared to what the ship should have aboard it, uh, crew wise. It seems they turned an entire deck that should have been like extra crew and storage stuff into effectively the cruise ship portion so that a bunch of people can get aboard. Um, you're able to see that there are multiple ships leaving Bergen at the same time, headed westward, which means there's probably a bunch of ships that just set sail, and you just happen to be assigned to this particular ship for the sake of the sailing. You I was gonna say you hide. Hmm. Because you said that you don't openly do the devil worship shenaniganry, which makes sense. That's a good idea. But you don't have any like symbols out in the open as well, right?
No, I would
Okay.
just have my,
Do
you know,
you have? I was gonna say, do you have perception? But you don't. I'm gonna say you get to make this roll anyways because of your particular I'm gonna say you just spot it. How about that? I'm not even gonna make a roll. Um,
Eh,
the gentleman, the nobleman that you had seen previously at the carriages is in different garb. He's now wearing like more like a suit rather than traveling goods. It seems like he's sort of freshened himself up and prepared for the cruise, and now looks like a more proper noble individual. Plus, he's not traveling in the fucking cold as shit Savannah area, so he's able to like dress nicely. Um, you are able to see that he has a symbol you have been taught about. He has the symbol of pride etched into portions of his suit. It seems he worships, or at least knows of, one of the sins.
I want to go talk with him.
All right. As you go to head over to him, one of his entourage will sort of step up in front of you and go, "Yes, how can I help you?"
Hello. Who are you guys?
It is a pleasure to be aboard this boat. I am the aide to Lord Galen. Um, he is, of course, a high noble of Savannah. I see from your armor and your goods that you must be from Savannah as well. Is this correct?
Yeah.
Ah, wonderful. Then perhaps you know of the Lord. He rules in the farther eastern portions, of course. Yeah, you've never heard of this lord. I'm not gonna have you roll anything. You've never heard of him. Lord Galen is exploring to the south with all of you to move some investments around. Um, is there something I could do for you?
Oh, what kind of investments are you moving? For who?
Oh, all sorts of things for Lord Galen himself, of course. We are quite affluential in the east, and as such, we wanted to expand southward. We've heard of many interesting things in the south that we can find and perhaps even create a small place for ourselves.
You say you're very influential.
Of
Uh,
course.
I don't know if I missed it or I don't know. You or your lord. My
Oh, it's
apologies.
It's completely understandable. Perhaps you're from central Savannah or the western portions of Savannah. Savannah is such a large country these days. It's very hard to get news of some of the lords of different areas. But I assure you, in the east, Lord Galen is well known.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. What kind of thing are you trying to establish?
I would not assume Lord Galen's particulars, but from what I have heard and what I know, we plan on establishing a one of our own frontier villages closer to the northern portions, in hopes of being a slightly more major shipping route.
Oh, coincidence. Well, I'm also looking to make a settlement over there, but hopefully we'll get along.
I'm certain we shall. We will be hiring plenty of adventurers, so perhaps you will join the entourage and uh, assist us where we end up going. We, of course, need news of things that have been occurring down south. Not much information gets out beyond what is sent via the the birds that they send.
I'll let you know if anything comes up. But if you got any work for us, for me or my party, you could let me know. I'm Vigo.
Ah, it is a pleasure to meet you, Vigo. I am Aid Marson.
Good to meet you. Do they have like the symbol just kind of out there, right?
They do, so there is no it's not an obvious symbol of worship. It is instead like sort of stitched into design, right? So portions of Lord Gellen's suit actually have the design like embedded in it. So it ends up looking like it's a part of the flourishes. But anybody who's ever seen the symbol would immediately know that's the symbol of the sin of pride. Um, if you don't know of that symbol, or you aren't a devil worshiper, then it would just be an interesting flourish. It just looks interesting. And this gentleman who's talking to you, Aid Marson, um, also has the symbols in portions of his outfit. Again, as flourishes. So if you don't know what the symbol is, you wouldn't know that that was a thing. It's not like an open worship, more of a used in parts of the design on purpose type deal.
Huh. How well do they get along? The different
Depends.
factions, I guess.
From what you've been told, every cult, every portion is different from city to city, from nation to nation. Um, you've been told that the person you're going to go and help out is the Terrasol Shipping Company, which is a part of the cult of envy that is allied to the people who taught you of greed. So it's one of those weird things where it's like, ah, you don't know how the East treats the other cults. It's possible that in the East, in the East where this Lord Gellen comes from, totally 100%, um,
Mm.
it's possible that all of the cults work together in that portion of the East, in which case they're all friendly. What the devils actually do and care about tends not to be what the humans or mortals worshiping them care about. So there's this weird like mix of ideologies depending on where you're at. Sometimes certain groups fight, sometimes they're allied.
Okay.
As long as their goals are getting
Uh,
filled, they probably don't care.
I'll leave.
Okay. No worries. You're able to continue looking about the ship. You're able to interact with any other crew members you would like. The captain does move about the ship from time to time. You notice that if you've ever seen Blackbeard from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, um, this captain seems to be able to move the ship pieces without having crew at them. Every now and then you'll see ropes and bits of anchorage and like sails just start moving and rewrapping and relocking down when nobody's there. Is there anything anybody else would like to do aboard the ship? I'll take that as a no. The ship continues westward. It passes a portion of Francia, where other ships join, including the massive dreadnought, a huge metallic ship. Many Frankian ships these days seem to be made out of metal instead of wood. They're large. They have massive wooden decks built with metallic edges. It's an interesting sight for anybody who hasn't been to Francia or been at sea, which I believe is all of your characters. I don't think any of your characters have been around this area. So seeing a large metal construct floating is interesting. There are sigils of magic etched all around the edges of these ships, as well as these large cannons. You all would have heard of what magic artillery used to be back in the olden days. These look like magical artillery pieces that are sort of embedded in the decks of these ships. Pointed forward, sometimes they're rotated slightly off-centered, like aiming sideways. Unlike the pirate ship that you're on, where the cannons are on a deck down below and aim left and right, it seems whatever these cannons are that are on these Frankian ships can turn, and they just sit on the top of the ship. Similar to modern day battleships, except, magic. The massive dreadnought quickly takes to the center of all of the ships. Fleets of wooden ships have joined up. The ships continue southward, joining up with a new set. Golden ships. Ships of Atronia. Large, elaborate designs. Unlike the utilitarian Frankian metal ships, it seems that the Atronian ones are designed to look like a lot of money was spent on them. Bits and pieces of gold and fragments. The tech seems similar. There are cannons mounted sort of on the top of these decks that rotate rather than in the sort of below decks. Metal pieces all over the place, mixed with wooden constructs and just incredibly elaborate designs, like swelling dragon designs on the sides of these ships. It seems Atronia spends a lot of money on what a ship looks like rather than how much firepower it has. Francia went the other way around. All of these ships join together, go to the open ocean. Finally, there is no land skirting you to the left. For those wondering, as you sail southward, sort of Francia and then Atronia, all that stuff will sort of be on the left of you as you sail southward. But as soon as you get past Atronia and them joining, suddenly you're in open ocean. Here, let me just go out to water. There we go. Perfect. The perfect view. Just a mat of nothing but water. While in the open ocean, from time to time, ships will meet with other ships. They'll throw over the like sort of a board plank. Magic will be used to tie them together and lock their movements together so that individuals can cross and move from ship to ship. You see metal ship and wooden ship able to do the same exact thing. Crew transferred from one to another as needed. And in fact, the ship that you're on probably has a couple of true crew transfers themselves, as other Black Fleet ships have joined over the course of sailing. More supplies are added to the ship that you guys are aboard during this sailing time. It takes about a month, a little more than a month, to just sail the open waves, the open water. I would like to ask, hey, how good are you guys with open water and sailing? For roleplay purposes, how do your characters do without a roll? How do you think your characters do?
Well, it
I would probably get sick, like be sick for the first 5 days, but then get used to it.
I'd probably be fine, I think. I mean, I don't have a stomach, so.
I think Connie said that Connie would be fine.
Oh, I didn't hear any of that, man. I made such a funny joke. No, I said I said I think I'd be fine because I don't have a stomach.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just like in stock position and you don't even have to like counteract the weight because it's just natural. Like you're just
Yeah.
standing like a
Yep.
mannequin the entire time.
Mhm.
Grieve, how does your body do?
Was kind of thinking I'd let you decide what my body does, how the body does.
Sure. Uh, yeah, I mean, you feel fantastic, and then the body like tries to wrest control for a moment, and you're like, why would you try to? Oh, and you quickly move over to the side as the just as for
Oh,
as you realize, oh wait, I can't quite feel seasickness, but apparently this individual can. Um,
oh, we're throwing up apparently. Okay, there.
and while you are perfectly fine, yeah, your body's not in great shape for a little bit. Um, after the first few days, Vigo first. Hey Vigo, what about you? How you do at the sea?
Hi. Um, fine for about a while, but restless and anxious and slightly paranoid. Because look at all that nothing. Why is there
Mm-hmm.
just nothing? Looks down, that's a lot of black. Why is there no light? What's down there?
Yeah. At nighttime, you guys are basically purely lit by the other ships. I will say, the Frankian ships have massive spotlights, so there's just constantly this like it's like having lighthouses just on a ship, right? There's just these spotlights that just scan the horizon in the darkness. So it's just pitch black and then suddenly like this cone of light just checking the horizon to make sure nothing's coming. Mages are eventually passed off to each of the crews, and for those who are seasick, items are provided to stop you from being seasick. Um, so for those who aren't great with the system, with being out here in the open waters, at least that portion is taken care of for you all. However, the dread of the infinite blackness during the nights is not taken care of because you all happen to know that krakens and sea dragons and serpents and the horrific monsters of the deep are a fact and not a myth in this world. um, so there's always a constant scare of what might actually be underneath you because it could literally be the monster you're thinking about. There is no myth to the fact that krakens have literally torn ships apart, and people have documented it. It is a fact of life in this world. However,
Constant.
being all grouped together in a large fleet like this seems to have at least, for the most part, kept monsters away. Is there anything else you guys would do over the course of the month? You can freely move about the other ships if you would like. So if you'd like to examine or see or intermingle with any of the other ships, you're welcome to. Because over the course of the month, most of the ships will have at some point had crew transfers, or have been able to like move around supplies and whatnot, as well as a lot of people can just fly. Like magic to fly is not like uncommon, and races that have wings are not uncommon. So moving from ship to ship is not like unheard of. Would any of you have moved from ship to ship or have examined or seen anything from any of the other ships?
I am stuck in one spot and keeping a lookout.
Connie has become the
I
figurehead.
Would you have gone to any other ships or locations?
She might have and played a couple of pranks here and there. Probably on a couple of the crew.
If you play it on the crew of the ship that you guys are on, so the one by Captain Lauren, uh, a lot of the other crew, as a prank goes off, will just laugh at the person that you're messing with.
Oh, I like these guys.
As a member of a pirate fleet, a lot of the crew also messes with themselves pretty consistently. It seems the captain has a sense of humor, but it also seems impossible to play a prank on the captain because the captain is effectively an air spirit, right?
Yeah.
Any attempts at messing with a captain is basically not possible. But the crew, yeah, easy enough. If you
Let's
move about to
go.
if you move about to other ships, you get differing views depending on the ship you go to. It seems the Tronian ships, although elaborate and glorious and golden, are very well, and Frankian
High
ships. They're
strung.
they're very hierarchical.
Hoity-toity.
Yeah. The Atronian ones are very. You get a feeling if you mess with them, an Atronian will just sentence you to execution. Um, they are a militaristic empire, like heavily so. They just happen to also be a very rich empire, which is why they like to embellish everything. If you go aboard a
Damn.
Frankian vessel, they're very hierarchical and very like. If you played a prank on the lower ranking people, you probably got away with it. But if you tried any higher ranking individual, you probably immediately got thrown off of the ship. Just like, nope, you're gone. Bye. Uh, don't come back. But at least they probably wouldn't execute you because you are an adventurer and they understand that you're, about to go pioneer in an unknown world. Any of the other Black Fleet members, yeah, differing views depending on the captain. Could be like a really bad idea to play a prank, or could be literally what the entire crew does to themselves every single day. The Black Fleet is very hit or miss on the rules and regulations of individual ships. Grieve, do you move about any ships? Do you check out any other places, or do you just sort of stay where you're at and wait to get to the new world?
I think I'm waiting. I'm getting relief from Ai's constant pranks when she goes to other ships, so I'll just stay here.
Perfect, you got it. And because you stay there, you know exactly where to go to get back to Grieve.
Let's go.
Vigo, was there anything you wanted to do? Any other ships you want to move to? Any things you want to check out?
Yes. I'll check out the ships. I'll see what they got for fences. I'll make sure they're ready for when we're attacked by the sea monsters. Because,
Yeah,
oh my god, why is this taking so long?
it seems the pirate ships are very what you would expect of a pirate ship, right? They got cannons on each side. A couple of them like flamethrowers at the front end of the ship, or have like side mounted cannons where they have like the little pivot, like their little hand cannons that pivot on the edges of a ship. Um, they could probably defend themselves from a kraken. Probably not. Um, However, you go to the board the Atronian ones, you'll see that most of their stuff seems to be for destroying other ships, which is why they have those large cannons sort of mounted on the top, similar to the Frankian ships. However, they have portions of the bottom of their ship that allow them to drop effectively these large barrels into the water that explode. So, if needed, if there's something below their ship, they can blow it the fuck up.
Perfect.
And aboard the Frankian vessel, you're able to find that they just straight up have a shielding spell on their ships. If a kraken tried to grab them, it would be stuck in a bubble around the ship. Like, it wouldn't be able to even touch the sides of the ship. It seems they went with the magical route, and Atronia went with the just blow it the fuck up route. Um, and then some pirate ships have magic. Some pirate ships have like kegs that they're ready to throw into the water. The Black Fleet is very hit or miss on every individual, but the Frankian, pretty common. They use magical defenses, and mages are ready to shoot stuff, and they have individuals armed with rifles and cannons just ready at all times, and a magical shield that stops stuff. The Atronians are ready to just dump a whole bunch of explosives into the sea if they have to blow shit up. At which point, you all are able to see land to the left of you again. A massive jungle approaching. It's staying off to the left. You need to go a bit farther south before you can actually get to the landing site. It seems like this far north is not a landable territory. You can't just hit the jungle here. Those of you who are trained in perception, which I believe there's a couple of you.
I and Grieve, I know.
Oy.
Yes, yes. I and Grieve. You both are able to catch that there are creatures on the banks of that shore, on the edge of that jungle. Just watching, just waiting. They glow a faint green, as if illuminated by some magic. If it was dark when you were approaching, you'd imagine more people would see them. But as it is right now, you're uncertain how many people are actually identifying that there are creatures on that shore, just watching. Do you tell anybody or do anything?
I would not tell anybody.
Is Connie like above deck or below deck? Like, is Connie around? Because I'll tell Connie if
above
they're
deck.
around. They're above deck.
Mhm.
I'll let Connie know.
Affirmative.
Nothing else? Just telling Connie, and Connie, Connie just being like, "Ah, yes, understood."
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. The ships continue. Keeping track of the creatures on the shore, they move back into the jungle. And then out, and then in, and then out. It seems they're following right inside of the jungle. They're just keeping an eye on you. As more of the landmass continues on your left side, eventually curving inwards, the ships begin to sort of move in an eastward position, sort of angling themselves. As the coastline here is similar to like the how Africa is, where it's sort of rounded on one end and then it sort of like curves in and down into itself. The landing place you guys are headed to is in that curved area as it sort of heads inwards. But those creatures are still keeping track of y'all. And then a Frankian ship crosses in front of you. You see as its guns, while moving, turn and level themselves at the coastline. Boom! An explosion as the edge of this turret begins firing. A large magical seal appears on the opposite side of the ship, holding it in place so that no recoil is felt by the ship as it just starts unloading. Boom, 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 boom. As it lights that fucking jungle up, you see where the monsters were, explosions. Immediately retreating, running away. The large fiery explosions catch a few bits of green. A green flame of some kind bursts at one of the explosion locations, and then another one and a different one. And the ship just keeps firing for a good minute, just unloading into that portion of the jungle. And then it stops. And they continue. The cannon realigns itself to the front of the boat. It almost seems to shift down a little bit to lock itself back into a neutral position. And the ship sails slightly closer to the dreadnought. The shore burning away, the jungle just purely on fire at this point, to the left of you for a moment. It seems the monsters have been taken care of, at least temporarily. It seems somebody from Frankia noticed the creatures and decided, hey, that shore, get rid of it.
Damn.
Seems like they're not taking any chances with monsters at this point. And it seems whatever monsters attacked the first expedition have decided not to attack this one. From what you had been told, or what you have learned over the course of this, is that during the first expedition here, about 5-6-ish months ago, the first expedition that came here with a large supply of ships was attacked by green tattooed wyverns and a green tattooed white dragon, a dragon of ice. This time, however, it seems like no creatures have come, because back then, that white dragon fucking exploded and basically nuked a dreadnought. This time, however, no creatures have come to fight. As you approach the landing site where you all were expected, you see 2 large black pyramids, designed more so like Aztec pyramids rather than the pyramids of Egypt. They are multi-leveled. They have like plateaus at each part and have a large sort of open structure at the top. There is one at the center of what seems to be a built-out shanty town with 3 major mage towers around it. There is another smaller of the black pyramids. So of the 2 pyramids, one's large and in the center. There's another smaller one sort of off to the side, slightly south of it. A bit of a shanty town built about that one as well. Buildings and craftsmanship for the past 5 or 6 months, building out and making sure that people have places to live and at least do stuff. And the final pyramid, a third one, half sunken in the water off the coast. A large dock has been built sort of off of this one, using it as the anchor point, so that larger ships can sort of still be at sea while docked. This portion of this pyramid is, I almost want to say it's not quite gone vertical, but it's tilted a lot. Like, it's way off axis. Like, if it was tilted anymore, you imagine it would slide into the ocean if it wasn't properly mounted wherever it is. It is incredibly... Sorry, what was that?
What is this that's tilted?
The black pyramid that's in the water. The black,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The one that's in the water is, like, angled absurdly. Like, the top of it is almost in line with the base of it at this point. The top of it has almost sunk completely underwater, but you can tell from the angle that it's like it's really weird. What should be the pyramid steps are effectively level peaks across the water. And a dock has been built out from this, out into the ocean proper. That is where your ship and many of the other ships will be docking. Here, you'll be let loose into the world proper. You are on the southern continent. You are in a brand new territory, a free territory. You will all be given a map of this territory. A map that I don't have yet, but I'll draw it out for you. At the center is this place. To the north, straight up, almost directly to the north, is another small frontier village. And then there's a bit of a road headed more northward, but then nothing. It seems as if nobody's actually built farther north than that Pacific frontier village. Also, nobody's gone northwest into that bulb where you guys were being, like, followed by monsters on the coast. That is hashed out with green lines to show green tattooed creatures appear there. And then, hashed out with green lines sort of to the way north and then all the way to the east is more of those green hash lines. The east is a bunch of red hash lines. to signify, as you were told, those that have red tattoos, monsters and creatures that seem to have absurd strength in comparison to their normal types. There's news of a giant spider that has effectively torn some adventurers limb from limb without flinching. Like, it is way stronger than a giant spider should be. To the north, it said that the green tattoos mean that when the creature dies, it erupts into a green explosion, just dealing a shit ton of damage to everybody around them. It has been learned that the damage is spiritual in nature. It attacks your soul directly, not your body, when it explodes. And then to the south, there are 3 frontier villages. One that's sort of southeast, one that's farther south, called Grey Harbor. It seems more like it's become a proper village at this point. And then one slightly south of that. It seems that those frontier villages are mostly unnamed except for the actual like village, one that actually has a decent. It apparently has an airship port in it currently, so airships can go from here where you guys are at down to there if needed. You do see a couple of airships in the sky above these black pyramids. That is the world you come to. That is the world you'll get to explore, and that is the world where bounties and other shenanigans may occur. However, the most important part is what will happen next session, and that is that you see at the dock a parked carriage. It is lined with purple silks and seems to have a store sign in front of it. It is up to you for the next session if you would like to enter said shop, but it certainly seems inviting. And that's where we'll end for today because we're getting towards 5 o'clock. We're at 4:30, and we did a whole bunch of RP. There will be combat most likely next session, so we'll get to learn about the combat shenaniganry. We didn't get to do too many rolls because it's a lot of build up. So I apologize for that. This is more like a session 0.5 at this point. It's the
Hey,
getting to the
I
place.
I was personally trying to get as many rolls into our RP as we could so that we could at least know what it feels like.
Mhm.
If you guys would like, you will meet Akshir with these characters for the first time at the beginning of next session. And as Akshir do, he might have some vibes on telling you where you guys should be. And maybe
Hell
lend
yeah.
out some magical items for you. Interesting items that can
Hey.
assist you all. I
Dog.
hope you all had fun for this at least first starting bit as you all were collected and learning about each other. We won't be back for like 2 weeks.
Whoa.
Because possibly
No, it's okay.
Thanksgiving weekend, I don't know what you all are doing. I know that Thanksgiving is
I
on like
also don't know.
Thursday, not Sunday. I should be back by Sunday and should be able to play. But I'll wait for y'all to figure out what you're doing. If y'all ain't doing anything, then we'll try to play another game of Cypher. If you all are all doing something, then I'll do the normal, hey, I'm in chat. If anybody wants to play anything, I'm here. But send some messages once you figure out what's up on Sunday. I should be back, I think, by Friday probably, so I should be good. I should be good to do stuff. Yeah. So who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Don't expect it, but if it happens, I'll see you there. Is there anything you guys would like to add before we before we throw this stream down?
Nah.
So I threw it on the ground.
Oh, boo. All right. Then I will work on a real basic ass hand drawn map most likely because that would be the funniest. And I'll post that in Tabletop Tavern for y'all for our next session, as well as think about what your characters might ask Akshir for. You as players know what Akshir do. You as characters don't, but think about what your character might say in the situation, or look for as a like bonus or boost. But like, you guys haven't fought anything yet, so you're not probably going to be 100% sure. I'll try to also think of things that could be beneficial for your characters, but you know what I mean. Just think of interesting things or doodads.
We'll have some time.
Yeah.
I gotta look through that giant list of magic items.
Yeah. 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 You can steal ideas from the Griffin Saddlebag, because that's where I'm going to be stealing a lot of my ideas for items. Do know that in
Hey.
Cypher, items have a level, and that level is how charges occur. And that level, when you find, is also how much experience you get for finding an artifact. Which also reminds me, hey, everybody gets one more experience point because the session is done.
Hooray!
Oh shit!
Hey.
Yep, everybody gets at least 1 experience point per session, and then 1 experience point for any major events and stuff that happens. In this case, it was just mostly build up, so I'm just giving 1.
Experience for existing.
Yeah, experience for existing, indeed. And y'all will probably start using experience points and stuff within the next couple of bits. You guys are almost to an advancement point if you wanted to, because at 4 points you can choose one of the advancements that are listed above, and start working your way towards becoming a tier 2 character.
But do know that you
Oh.
don't have to spend your
Oh.
points right away. You could save it up if you think you might need it for the next session.
Yeah. Because remember, experience is also rerolls. Experience is also learning more specific skills like mountain climbing or whatever in specific locations. It's also used for just learning training based things. So like if I wanted to be able to wield heavy weapons, that would be something that would probably cost about 3 experience points and require I to like train with somebody. You guys know how to use heavy weapons, so I'd say that I could literally just train with you to learn heavy weapons if I wanted to. But would still have to spend the 3 experience points to make it canonical. The idea of using experience points is to make something canon to the story, which means it can be a flashback if you want it to be. So there can be flashbacks to like skills that you've learned but aren't on your character sheet right now by spending experience points.
Neat.
You can bring in your connections or allies by using experience points in certain encounters. So if an encounter doesn't have an ally that you want to have there, you can use experience points to be like, hey, could that ally that we just made back there have followed us to here and help us out now? And be like, fuck yeah, just use some experience point. Use like 1 or 2, depending on how useful the character is. So experience points are used for you guys to just decide if the story goes your way, basically. So if at any point you guys want to change the story, tell me. I'll tell you how much experience points it would cost. You do the thing. And feel free to use the shared pool, which also has 3 experience in it right now, for all of those things, other than advancement. Okay, I'm gonna say bye, stream. I will be back tomorrow to play
Bye, Sam.
fucking something. I'll probably play Where Winds Meet for the first bit of the day because I've been playing way too much of that game and I enjoy it. But then we'll be playing multiplayer Monday after that, so which will be something. I don't know what we'll end up voting on, but hopefully it's a game everybody has.
Mm.
Until then, bye, stream.
Bye,
Bye,
Shane.
Shane.
Bye-bye.